Okay, now let's talk about kicking ass. Combat in CthulhuTech is measured in turns. Each turn is a flexible amount of time, but they're intended to represent about 30 seconds of action where the different players in the combat are all feinting and ducking and dodging and having more minor attacks until they land their big one for the turn. There is no initiative system in CthulhuTech. Players always go first. So the first part of any turn is that the players are going to plan. They can take a moment and they can coordinate their actions and determine what order they want to take them in so that the turn goes more or less according to their plans. And then they're going to take action. Now there's a variety of actions that you can take, but most of the time you're going to be moving and you're going to be attacking. Now when it comes to moving, Tagers have a variety of different modes of mobility that humans don't have. For example, they can stick to walls and crawl across ceilings, they can jump insane heights, and sometimes they can fly. Let's talk about an attack. What does that look like? When you're going to attack, you're going to be using either your pairing of physique and body fighting as your dice pool, or your pool of awareness and gun fu for ranged combat. It's a complex action. Like any other complex action, you're going to roll your dice pool and compare it to the GM's NPC roll. The combat chart uses the same result bands as any other complex action. So you'll see here, if you get a critical success of +3 or higher, you hit, but you get to add additional damage equal to the difference in the dice rolls. You succeed and you do damage. Partial success means you can either trade blows or choose to miss. Trading blows means that you're going to hurt them, but they're also going to hurt you back. Failure means that you miss and your enemy hurts you back. And a critical failure means that not only do you miss and get hit by the enemy, they get to do bonus damage to you. We'll talk more about how damage works as we get further down. Right now, let's just focus on how to land an attack and how attacks land on you. Strikebacks happen when you choose to trade blows or you fail. And that means that a combatant is going to be able to use one of its abilities to automatically hit you. They don't have to make an additional roll. Remember, this has already been determined by your roll. Combatants are limited to a single strike back per round. Now, you'll also notice that the way this combat chart works, when you're attacked, you can strike back against your enemies. One of the fun parts about our combat system is the engagement system. That means that you can choose an enemy and lock them into one-on-one combat, forcing them to focus only on you. Now, as we looked at in character generation, you have a health score, and that's the number of points you have available in each of the 3 wound levels. Not everyone else in the setting has that and usually only has a single level of health, which means that attacks that might annoy players can kill NPCs very easily. Armor functions by reducing the amount of damage that you take from the total. Now, healing for Tagers is not a problem. All Tagers regenerate and they come back really fast. And that's an overview of how combat works.